Hi there, and in this video I want to talk about why Datsun left India. The issue has become a little bit of a political hot potato after Rahul Gandhi, the leader of the opposition in India, put out a tweet saying Datsun has left India, people have lost their jobs, and many people in his political party also made this an issue. The reason Datsun has left India is because they did not sell enough cars. But Datsun has not just been shut down in India, it's been shut down across the world, and there is another reason for that. Please keep watching this video for more. Simply put, Datsun left India and the rest of the world because they were not selling enough cars. Uh, Between April 2020 and March 2021, Datsun had domestic sales in India of 7,433 cars. In the period the following year, between April 2021 and March 2022, they sold 2,005 cars in India total. Just for an example, the Renault Kwid, which is built on the same platform as the Datsun Go and RediGo, sold 2,461 units in March 2022 alone. Now, I've driven a few Datsuns in the past. I drove the Datsun RediGo in Kolkata. It was a great drive, actually, the only media drive I've been to in Kolkata, my city of my birth. It's horrible traffic in Kolkata, but Datsun did a great drive there. I got nice pictures of the car with the Victoria Memorial and with the New Howrah Bridge, the Vidyasagar Setu as well. It's a beautiful, place to have driven. And I had a great time driving the RediGo, but the RediGo felt cheap. There wasn't the doors did not have full padding. It felt like frugal engineering, and I feel Indians don't just want frugal, and that's one reason the Tata Nano also failed, because it felt too cheap. And the Go and RediGo, while they actually competed in a segment above the Alto and S-Presso by the Society of Indian Automotive Manufacturers data, in the 3,600 to 4,000 meter instead of the sub 3,600 millimeter segment, they competed against the Alto and the S-Presso. That's where Carlos Ghosn, the man who brought Datsun back, wanted Datsun to compete. And that's the other reason Datsun was withdrawn, Carlos Ghosn. Now, Carlos Ghosn, if you haven't read about him, was considered a business genius. The man was half Lebanese, half Brazilian, half Frenchman. He was born in Brazil but had a Lebanese and French passport. And he was this manager supreme. He was brought in by Renault to head Nissan when Renault took a stake in Nissan. Nissan was a collapsing car company in those days. And Carlos Ghosn became a sort of superstar. He even had anime cartoon made about him. He was a superstar. He saved Nissan from the doldrums. He was this guy Jin, which is a foreigner who came in and saved an iconic Japanese company. Now, Nissan earlier sold cars under the Datsun brand, and Datsun, for example, the famous 240Z sports car that Nissan made back in the day, that was sold as a Datsun. Of course, their cars gradually being sold as Nissan. And Carlos Ghosn wanted to bring back Datsun because he felt it could be an affordable brand for countries like India, Indonesia, and in Russia. And the Datsun brand was actually relaunched in India back in 2013. It was relaunched in a big function at the Kingdom of Dreams in Gurugram. And I was there, and Carlos Ghosn came in as a superstar in that function. The car was in, the bright blue car came out, and there were dancers. It was even for a jaded automotive journalist like me, as I was even in 2013, it was quite a show. And Carlos Ghosn was a hero. I mean, even as journalists, this guy was the guy you wanted to interview. And yes, Datsun came, and they tried. They really did try. But as I said, the cars felt a bit off. But even as late as 2019 September, when they launched continuously variable transmission on the Go Plus, which I drove near Chennai, the car still felt cheap. The seats felt cheap, the plastics felt cheap, and the Alto and even the Kwid also, the Kwid was on the same platform as the Go and RediGo, but the Kwid still looked a bit more like an SUV from Renault. I mean, this built at the same factory, and the Kwid sort of got into the Renault branding. They had something in common. And so much so that, when the Magnite came out from Nissan. The Magnite was actually supposed to be based on the Go platform and had the Go name going on. It was supposed to be the SUV version of the Go, and you can make out that even today by some of the design elements of the Nissan Magnite. It actually has Datsun design elements rather than Nissan design elements. Going beyond that, Carlos Ghosn got caught up in a massive embezzlement scandal at Nissan. You know, the whistleblowers at Nissan said that Carlos Ghosn embezzled almost $85 million and funded houses across the world using company funds. Whether it was right or wrong, I think there was also a little bit of politics involved over there, because the Japanese were afraid that Renault would take over Nissan and they'd lose control of the company. Now, keep in mind, Renault and Nissan are an alliance and Renault does not own Nissan. Renault only owns about 40% of Nissan, even though the factory outside Chennai is a joint operation. It's a bit complicated. They're living partners, but they're not married. Let's put it like that. And they don't want to really commit to each other. But they share platforms, they share cars. So, the Magnite and the Kiger on the same platform, and so on and so forth. So, when Carlos Ghosn was caught up in this scandal, he was jailed by the Japanese authorities. He spent a lot of time, and we heard stories of him being in a small Japanese cell. Now, the Japanese judicial and prison system isn't really fair. I mean, of all the countries to get caught, Japan is actually one of the worst countries to go to jail in, despite being a so-called Western nation. So Carlos Ghosn's wife, he eventually got bailed and was put under house arrest. And there he has engineered the most dramatic escape. He escaped inside a cello case, and was flown by a private jet to Istanbul, from where he flew to Beirut. He talks about this in interviews to media houses, including the BBC. Something worth watching. I'm sure it'll be made into a Netflix special one day, because it is dramatic. And this has, of course, become a diplomatic issue between Japan and Lebanon. Lebanon does not extradite its citizens. So, Carlos Ghosn is quite safe in Beirut, even though that's not the best city in the world to be in right now, in my opinion. So after all this happened, I think Nissan wanted to erase all vestiges of Carlos Ghosn, and Datsun was a vestige of Carlos Ghosn. So much so that when I was researching this video and the story, and I've written about this in the print as well, I was looking for pictures, and there are some pictures at blog.nissan, and Nissan had lots of stories about it. Every one of those pages has been erased. I get this 503 warning on those pages. Nissan has sort of erased Carlos Ghosn from its history, which is bizarre, because without Carlos Ghosn, to be very honest, Nissan would not exist. No matter what happened in the recent past, back in the mid 2000s and early 2010s, without Carlos Ghosn, Nissan would not exist. And I think this is kind of ridiculous. I mean, sure, I think Carlos Ghosn might have done some financial embezzlement and all of that. I don't know. I don't know the intricacies of the case. Carlos Ghosn, of course, says he's innocent. The Nissan claims no, he did embezzle money. I don't know if this case will ever come to court, now that Carlos Ghosn is in Beirut and the case is being fought in a court in Tokyo. But Datsun has been shut down in India and across the world because it's a part of Carlos Ghosn's legacy, and Nissan doesn't want to have anything to do with Carlos Ghosn anymore. And that, coupled with the fact that Datsun really wasn't selling cars, I'm sure if Datsun was selling incredible numbers, Nissan would not have shut it down. But that's the way it is. So I don't understand why this has become a political issue. It's kind of silly. I think this is not the issue that the opposition should be fighting on. There are many, many other issues happening in this country that the opposition should be highlighting. Datsun really isn't one of them. And as somebody who's seen this close up, follows the automotive world, and I've been following the automotive world for almost 2.5 decades now, this is what I feel. Anyway, do like this video down there. Do leave your comments. Do you think, is it because of Carlos Ghosn that Nissan has shut down Datsun, or is it just because of poor sales? Would you like to see more videos like this? And do leave your comments. By the way, I am at the Taj Bengaluru right now, outside Bengaluru Airport, and I'm here to drive the Honda EHEV. But of course, that video is only going to be coming out this coming Monday. Do like, do subscribe, and if you subscribe, you'll be able to watch that video. Do press the bell icon, and thank you so much for watching this video.